Test, test, test. Okay, we are all good to go here, everybody. Okay. Hey, everybody. I hope you guys have all been having a fantastic day so far. Looks like Loki's been having a fantastic day out as well. So today we all know that Bitcoin did break down below this 50 moving average here on the 4-hour chart. So we're going to have to talk about that, unfortunately. And what we saw with the breakdowns going on from the traditional stock market, kind of elaborating basically of what we talked about yesterday for all the members out there, and some of the people that watch the stream anyway. Um, basically, what's going on? Are we in trouble? Are we like time to freak out and panic, or are we just kind of going back into something more of a what you might call just a holding pattern, a little bit of a pullback here to wait for some of this news to come out? Okay, so let's kind of zoom out and talk about what's going on with Bitcoin first here. Probably best to go over here very fast, actually. There we go. All right. And so here's Bitcoin's daily. This is on the wrong chart. Oh, that's why everything has been so weird for me today, because I'm on that chart. Okay. There you go. Should be okay. Much fun. There you go. Okay. There you go. So as far as Bitcoin is concerned, everybody, let me make sure. Okay, that's working fine. Um, we're still above the 20-day moving average. We're still doing fine. If you kind of zoom out here just a little bit and we can add that trend line back on board, you guys can see that we still have broken above that trend level. Let me extend that out for us. We are still above the trend line. We have still broken out. So there's not too much of a worry at this point in time, okay? If you guys have been able to buy down here or anywhere up here and you guys are thinking about scaling it, you guys still have an opportunity to lock in some gains in case things just don't go your way. The way I'm looking at it right now, though, is if go back over to the weekly chart very fast, we are still heading up for this resistance level as far as the 200 weekly moving averages and the 50-week moving averages. I'm not going to really complain about those for now. We all know that this is a death cross occurring and it's never happened. So we just really don't know at this point how bad things are going to get, okay? Excuse me. Now, as far as where we are on the daily chart, we're still above the 20. Just like how I felt about the 50 moving average here on the 4-hour chart, primarily I feel the same thing about this 20 here. If we start breaking down below this, I'm pretty confident that we will break back down below this level of resistance that took us a lot of effort to break out. If we do break down below this, of course, we're going to be heading back down here to $20,000 to $21,000. And while Bitcoin will probably, like, if we go from here to there, it might come down 8 to 10%. You better believe those altcoins are definitely going to come down a lot more because of it, okay? So just be aware of that. Now, one of the things I need to do here very fast. Oh, wait, is this the same? Let's see right here. No, perfectly fine. Okay, there we go. One of the things I also want you guys to be aware of right here is even though we did break down below the 50 here, it's not the end of the world. This just shows you that there's starting to be some weakness here. And as far as the support level I am looking at right now, maybe if I want to add a position in here, which I'm going to try to do later on tonight or tomorrow, I really want to try buying under around 22,306. I would say 22,300 to 22,400 is my buy-in level at this point in time, and I'm going to try to play it down here and try to play this rally. The big concern here is, of course, that the stock market will continue to go down tomorrow, so I'm just going to use this level of support as my stop loss. It's going to be very, very tight here, okay? One of the things that we've been talking about, I would say, for the past few days in particular after this breakout is both the SPY. I know there's a lot of drawings here, but we have the SPY that just broke out, and we have the NASDAQ that also just broke out. But today, because of this huge move down after breaking out above moving averages like the 200 daily and this pennant right here, or this downward trend, we've managed to come all the way back down within a day, which is not necessarily a good sign here. You can see we managed to break out Friday. Monday came along. We were actually holding it for, 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. And on the 5th hour, we eventually fell down and we did break down below it because of it. Excuse me. Now, because of that, everybody, here's the thing. We can't fall down below this level, or we're probably going to be tipping back down here to this 11,670 level, basically just this level of support and resistance right there. And while that's not, catastrophic and stuff like that, that will continue a trend that continues to go downward here. I would say, though, even as bad as all this has been over the last day, which isn't totally crazy bad, the one thing you guys have to consider here is this. Because we did break out, that does show some strength, and while the economy is going downhill slowly, it really hasn't fallen off of a cliff just yet. So I'm not really going to be saying, hey, everybody, freak out about what's going on. We may eventually just come back down here to continue going sideways with another opportunity for a pop. earnings this week, as far as Amazon, Apple, and Google, are really going to be the keys here for you guys' success on whether or not we see the breakout really continue on here, or we start to see, the market unfortunately doing a little bit more of a pullback. Okay, now let me get out of here very fast. One of the good things so far here is, even though Bitcoin's kind of unched for the day, Dogecoin over the past few hours has managed to have a nice little rally here, bouncing off of a support level and really having a nice chug, attempting to break out. And I won't say this is like a confirmed breakout, because as we still have the 4-hour chart here, it still hasn't broken out technically. But you can see it has been making new relative highs here, like a higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. As small of an increment as these higher highs can be, we still have these higher lows here as well. So we're squeezing towards something here. Maybe over the next few days, if Bitcoin can stay strong, Dogecoin does have the opportunity to go back up here towards 11 cents or so. But if you guys are looking for an opportunity to buy this trend line, it really came about 8-10 hours ago. So you guys might have missed it if you guys didn't take that chance there. And this might have even just been a day trade for some of you guys. So if you guys are playing with Dogecoin, be careful at buying it at the top, because usually when it's up here, it definitely tends to fall back down, of course. But if it does come back down here, you guys might be able to buy it. But I would double check to see what the NASDAQ, the SPY, and what Bitcoin is doing, okay? Now, we also have Litecoin making a little bit of a pump today. Ethereum Classic finding some support. So if you guys are looking to buy something at support, that's pretty much Ethereum Classic at this moment in time. We got Solana. Solana was interesting because it was one of those few coins that broke down. Maybe because it had such a large pump, but we have to admit, Solana did break down here, and it is facing some resistance back up here towards those levels, right? Since those old support levels, right? So right there, broke down. So it actually held support, broke down. You see the weakness there, and eventually did come back down a little bit more here. So that's usually why you guys look at the 4-hour charts and stuff like that. Let me see. Or I guess this isn't the exact place where they were, but still. If I go there, yeah. So same thing. Broke down and it continued downward here, although it's trying to make a reversal at this point in time. So keep an eye out for a lot of these different coins out here. You can see as far as Solana is concerned, though, again, if it breaks down from there, you guys might find an opportunity to short that sucker down. I don't see many other things actually up quite a bit. UFO tokens up a little bit here after a pretty rough day yesterday. You can see it got rejected from the 200, came back down, and you guys will see this consistent uptrend here that we're just trying not to break down below. As far as I'm concerned, though, you guys don't have to have this line for UFO gaming. It's really about what happens with that 20-day moving average here. Now, we also got GTC. That one's up a little bit there, playing on with the 200, although it looks like it already broke out and just failed to do anything afterwards. Mostly everything else is kind of just down by a little bit, or just not too much crazy moves going on. STMX is unched, and that's got to get rejected off of the 200 over the past week or so, testing out that 20-day moving average. Again, this is breaking down below this trend line here. That shows some weakness for this particular coin. We're hoping that things like Ethereum and such can really stay strong. But unfortunately, Ethereum at this point, while it hasn't closed down below the 20, it is below the 20 right now. So you're going to have to see a big pump from Ethereum over the next few hours if you want to see this gravy train continue, so to speak. And we had already talked about how it fell down below that 50 moving average a while ago. And you can see the small moving average break here between the 200, the 20, the 50. It took us down very, very hard here. And hey, Justin, hope you're doing well. Hope all is well, brother. Sorry I've been working a lot. No worries, man. When you get a second, can you run T on my MMA stock? Yeah, sure. I started the stream without too much warning, so I don't think it actually alerted many people that I was live. So this is going to be an interesting time. But yeah, I can pull up MMTA or MMAT. Is that what you said? MMAT. Yeah. Let's see. Meta materials here. Let's see. So this thing has been making new lows, it looks like, while a lot of other stuff has been coming down. Not like, all-time lows, but just some new lows relative to everything else. Looks like that 20-week moving average, 20-day moving average has definitely been the resistance level as of late. And for the most part, it's actually honored both the 50 and the 200 here, so that's pretty interesting to say. So as far as I see right now, if you did want to do a little bit of a trade on this, I wouldn't try to buy this until the breakout, and you can see right here the same type of concept. Whichever way this bad boy goes, I'd be happy to play this trade. Hopefully I'd be able to actually buy some support right here, but if it did break down, I would always be aware. This is on the NASDAQ. For the NASDAQ, again, shellacked today. This one I don't think went down too far. Yeah, went down 2%. Not terrible. Long term, expected to find some support around 87 cents or so, kind of around here. Maybe it might even break down here, then just try to do some type of double bottom play. But you're going to find a multiple bottom there, I think around the 85 to 89 cent level. It's a decent amount lower than where we are currently, I would say, but not the worst. Now, this is back in September of last year. I don't exactly know what happened over here. What? Electric technology, semiconductors. Okay, let's watch Tesla deliveries. Oh, that's just news. Earnings haven't been that good. When are earnings for this play? Not for a while. It looks like, yeah, not until April. I would try to play a breakout play above, breaking out above this trend line at the same time as trying to break out above the 20-day moving average. That'd be the most bullish play I could think of here. If you're looking more for shorting, I'd primarily, well, you probably wouldn't want to even short this because it's a penny stock, right? Probably best not to short this. But if you want to buy, I would say you just want to buy this typical breakout here. It'll get a nice boost as it breaks back above the 20. Last time it broke back above the 20, had a nice boom here, nice boom there, nice boom there, decent boom here. Okay. Especially coming out of a swing, it looks like it does a lot better here. Excuse me. You might have to face some resistance levels, and oh gosh, I gotta figure out what the bottom is going to be for this one. But for now, because we don't really know what the bottom is just yet for this particular cycle, we could go over here and just do this. Might have a price target of around 112 to 117, 118. That's how I try to play it, and just wait for the swing to take it off right up there. But the big move would happen as it breaks at above the 20. And then, of course, you might scale it like around $1, or maybe around $1.12, and then up here around $1.19. Scale it bit by bit. And if it does take a little bit of time for this to break out, don't use the white line. Use the yellow line here as your final scale out level. While it could break out above that, it's rare that they actually do, especially in this kind of market environment. So afterwards, it might just get pushed back down a little bit lower, back down to where you bought it around the 95-cent range, the 90-cent range, okay? But penny stock, decent. Wait for the breakout. I wouldn't really touch it until it actually has that solid move, though. Right now, it's just kind of consolidating a little bit more. Let me get rid of all this Bitcoin drawings as well here. There we go. I can just put on this normal stuff. There we go. There we go. At least for the good thing for Bitcoin here is even though we have this death crossing coming and we know how we feel about death crosses because they just never bode well for us. I'm gonna lock that sucker in there. There we go. We still have a little bit more room to go possibly here. So just, be aware of it. It's not a good position for us to be in right now. But with all the news coming out this week, it could really continue to get Bitcoin pumping up. So the scenario here for all of you bulls out is this. On Tuesday, I believe, or maybe it's Wednesday. I think it's Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday we have AMD coming out, and I think Wednesday we also have Meta. Yeah, there we go, Meta. And then Thursday we have earnings for Amazon, Google, and Apple. All of these earnings are going to be massive. We also have ExxonMobil for oil. We got McDonald's. We got a lot of stuff out there. A lot of earnings coming out here over this week, next week. So if these earnings are fairly good, and hopefully the tech earnings are very, very good as well with the good guidance going forward, that'll give Bitcoin and a lot of these other assets opportunities to actually have these really beautiful pumps where you see Bitcoin at least test out this level of 25,000. Most likely it'd probably get rejected and come back down, but you never know if Bitcoin does something a little bit more rational. The whales come in and start pumping it up a little bit higher. And basically, if we have got lots of good news, Bitcoin should test out 25,229. If it's really good news, plus the rate hike that's coming out, I believe on Wednesday, if that's only 25 basis points, not 50 basis points, that could also give it a big boost. And then I think we hit our ceiling up here, possibly around $27,000. I don't see us getting above that if we're ever so lucky to even just break out above these moving averages by themselves. But it should be fairly interesting to see how all of this plays out. For me right now, I really feel no incentive to buy. I was able to buy over here and over here and over here, and I basically sold right here because it matched up with that resistance. Sure, did I miss out on some profits? You bet I did. But did I make money? You bet I did. So, at this point in time, I like what I've been watching. I don't mind this dip. If I'm going to be buying anything, it's going to be on this dip as Bitcoin goes down a little bit lower. So if I get rid of all the little lines I just drew here very fast, go over to the 4-hour chart, you'll see that what we were talking about over the last few days is that concern of breaking down below the 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Well, now, if I'm going to be buying something up, I'm probably going to try to buy it within this range, 22,279 to kind of right around here of about 22,611. That's the buying range I'd be happy to go into. I'm kind of just waiting to see what happens though tomorrow, because if the market continues to come down tomorrow, I'll have a better opportunity to buy some Bitcoin. And basically, my stop loss will either be a little bit below this, like maybe $50 or something, $100 below the support level right here, or I might just use this level right here. If we actually close down below it, I'll close the trades and I'll just be done with the trade for now, because I don't want to take any chances that Bitcoin goes all the way back down here to 21,000. Because if we start breaking down, then we have a support here. We may bounce for a few days, but then we just kind of come back down, and then we got to worry about this nasty trading range, which is relative to us nasty right now. But it's still $20,000, so it's still a pretty decent level to be at. But that's the concern right now, and it's really not going to matter as much about technicals this week. Well, if you're making individual day trades and swing trades, yeah, a little bit. But the majority of the big moves that we're going to see are going to be from earnings and the federal rate hike. So even if the technicals look golden, just be aware of, tomorrow afternoon we got earnings, Meta earnings or whatever the earnings are. Tomorrow is AMD earnings. Wednesday it's Facebook earnings, Meta, and then as we go into Thursday, we have Apple, Amazon, and Google. Those are just going to be massive. So even if everything looks beautiful, set up like maybe it's a beautiful short or beautiful long opportunity, if those earnings go against your trade in any way, you're just going to end up losing a lot of money if you don't have a solid stop loss in place. So just be aware of that, okay? And hey, True Selection, is Doge finally forging its own path? Let's hope so. Probably not. Dogecoin's probably having a few day pump here, just kind of separating a little bit, but it's most likely just going to stay with Bitcoin, unfortunately. Some of the news that I think came out today that was why Dogecoin is pumping right now is Twitter is filing some paperwork that's actually going to help them do more a payments app. Basically, they're laying the groundwork so Twitter can become a payment platform, like a PayPal, a Venmo, something like that. And so, since we all know that Elon Musk wants to use Dogecoin for this type of tool, what that means basically is it's a big catalyst here for growth, and that may cause people to have a little bit of Dogecoin to have a skyrocketing moment. So we may see Dogecoin have another type of event like we did back over here when Elon Musk was able to buy Twitter. I doubt it'll be that large, but we never know. But I would still say, with this news coming out, and I wish it would came out a little bit like on the Friday or something like that, but I would still say at this point that Dogecoin still has the opportunity to get to 11 cents. With the good news coming out, and people love news as far as Dogecoin is concerned, we do have an opportunity to have a breakout here, have a strong pop, and then from there probably get rejected at 11 cents and try to consolidate a little bit more. There's a few different levels you guys could look for here. Your standard level is going to be right here, right? You can see some resistance levels right there. We have another one way up here on 9, and we have one up here on 10, and one up here around 11 and a half, close to 12 cents basically. This one was okay for this type of move over here. I liked it, but for something a little bit more long term, I feel like I want to go from here all the way up there, then all the way back down here. So just showing a little bit more of a perspective. And there we go. You can see how right now we're just fighting with this one. Nothing wrong with that. But this one up here, the goal, the one I like, the white line, the number 1 target, this matches up pretty well with the resistance levels we're going to be seeing over here from those highs from last November, okay? Or November 28th, excuse me. Or early December, late November, okay? So I would expect us to have a few bumps in the road, sure, but eventually coming back up here towards 11 cents. If we get any higher than that, I'd be surprised, but you guys know how I get surprised every now and again from some really big pops as far as Dogecoin is concerned. So I do think if the news continues to be good and solid, I would like that. But I would say the time limit for this is probably this weekend. Dogecoin would have to have a big pop there because you can already see, at least in the 4-hour chart, the 200 is already creeping up to this. We need Dogecoin over the next, before Friday to continue pumping up. Before Friday to actually pump up, go above probably 9 cents and stay above it, and then pop up towards 9.5 to 10 cents by Friday. Let's call it that. Then it can keep on moving. As far as the daily chart's concerned, though, sure, we're getting close to the 20 here, 20 there, kind of matching with this trend line here. We just have to keep that same energy and still have that big pop. Again, over the next few days, we still need to have an opportunity and make a big move. But it really all comes down to, will there be more news coming out about Dogecoin? That's the real catalyst here. Because the 50 is coming down here, the 200 slowly making their way up. We're not going to see any of these major moving averages have any issues. Going over here to the weekly, we've already broken above the 50. We've broken above the 20. The only thing up here is maybe the 200, but that 200, I don't even know if it's on this particular chart. Time frame chart. Is it even here? I don't know. Nope, I don't even know. But yeah, so basically, we don't have to worry about that right now, apparently. But we're gearing up. I could really see us getting up here to 10, 11 cents. I'd probably just go all in and hope that we can get up to 11 cents and buy some now. The 5x, 10x leverage here, you're having your stop losses if we break down. Play it nice and simply. There's no reason to try to force this here. You can see the nice low moves that we've been having. I know these lines are going to be a little bit confusing if they're zoomed out here because we've got different resistances, but get rid of that one. Just go to Fibonacci's. At least at this point, we probably should be coming back down, but we have news, so we don't know how much further we're going to go. But you can see that short-term resistance level right there, just enough to kind of get us to slow down. It didn't really block us too much, even right here. Just slowed us down for maybe a half an hour, then we broke out above it. We're having some resistance now. We're probably going to break above it. Next resistance level probably anywhere up here from 0.096 to 10 cents. And I would say we're probably going to do something similar. We might just hover for a second, pop, then come back down, consolidate, and then make the big lunge up here towards 11. With my luck, I don't have good luck when it comes to Dogecoin and the timing of it because it tends to happen when I'm sleeping. So I would say definitely have some alerts so that if you guys are in bed or something like that, you guys have the ability to just open up your phone and see, oh, what's going on? Oh, it hit my target. Let's open a position, or it hit my target. Let's sell a position. So definitely be aware of what Dogecoin is doing if you guys want to go down that road. But yeah, it looks perfectly fine right now. It's actually better because everything else is like at unch pretty much, or even down a little bit. Dogecoin's up 4.5% off of this great news that as far as Elon Musk and Twitter filing this new paperwork to try to get their Twitter as a payments platform. It's a really good news for Dogecoin because once it's actually more mainstream, everybody will start knowing about it a little bit more, and hopefully they can make a good deal out of it. There we go. Okay. No worries, Justin. Trying to find another buy point for on Ethereum Classic. Can you run a quick TA on that? Yeah, no worries. As far as what you're talking about, Ethereum Classic. There we go. So that one is actually happening right now. So depending on what you guys are looking at, maybe let me put this magnet on here for I think the 4-hour chart. Yeah, let's go here a little bit. There you go. So that buying point kind of happened over the last 8 hours, it looks like, or over the last 12 hours. And there was a buying opportunity. I would say, though, you can see how it didn't really hold up all that well. Maybe if I go to the 15-minute chart, you can kind of see it. It did have some it did show some weakness here, so not really a strong buyer at that level, but still overall enough buyers came in to push the price back up, and you can see it starting to continue to come back up bit by bit. I would say that if you wanted to buy this, there should be a slight pullback here eventually, and that pullback is probably what you're going to be looking for. It might just come back down here to 21.33. You can even buy it now if you really wanted to. And then from there, maybe it'll hover for a little bit, then try to make that next move up. Again, though, you got to be careful of what's going to be going on tomorrow as the futures. Let's go back over here very fast. Refresh it. All right. Futures at this point are kind of unch, so we don't know how the market's going to be looking all too much tomorrow. Even though most of the assets that we talked about today got rejected off of some level or another. Make sure you have some type of stop loss around $19.50 or $21. But at this point, as you're looking at the longer term, like the 4-hour chart, you're at the bottom of a range. You're hoping that it continues to move up, and you could probably start scaling out around $22.78 to $23, maybe all the way up here to $23, almost $24. And you're hoping that sometime over the next few days, as we talk about interest rate hikes of probably 25 basis points to 50 basis points, I think right now CNBC and Fox Business say 25 basis points, you should see, and with Apple's earnings, Google's earnings, with those good earnings, that'll be the catalyst to get this to break out and possibly hit up to $25, $26, $27, and seeing a big move up here to these last peaks that we had way back over here on $27. That's going to be hard, of course, because we have to rely on earnings to really push us up a little bit faster. But for now, at least, you're seeing that you're buying at the bottom of a range. And if you wanted to play it safe, let's say you bought around a 21.50, have your stop loss just down here around 21. And if it rises up here to 22, 23, move that stop loss up from 21.50 to 22 bucks. So no matter what happens, you're making 50 cents a share. And you'll be much happy about that than if you were to try to, buy here, watch it go all the way up here, then watch it come all the way back down here, possibly break down. They're like, oh no, I should have sold up here, and I'm mad at myself. That's stuff traders do. Um, so at this point, it's at that buying zone if you wanted to take it. Um, but again, this is one of those things. If you look at the way the moving averages are going, it already broke down below the 50 a while ago, and you can see that big move that took it down. Same over here as well, and even over here. Although I say there's a little bit more choppiness right there. Be aware that the 4-hour chart, the 200 is here. If it starts to break down below that, that's not a good sign. Bitcoin should tell you if it's breaking down below that ahead of time, though. Now, on the daily chart, it's already below the 20. This is already interesting, and you can kind of see how it actually managed to hold up until yesterday. That was the weird thing. You can see that kind of crazy swing it had. 50 is coming up bit by bit, not too concerned. But if we start breaking down below this trend line, you better believe that you're probably going to have a short back down to like 19 bucks or something like that. Okay, so probably would be worth it to just wait for the hourly close or maybe the 4-hourly close, maybe even the 2-hourly close if you want to kind of find some type of middle ground in there. But at least for now, it's an opportunity to buy. Hopefully tomorrow, like we do with 20-day moving averages and moving averages in general, when you break out above it, it's a pretty solid day. So in this instance, if you bought at the support level that was made from here to here to here, right? You bought just right there. Within that one day, you saw an opportunity to make about 8-9% profit. A couple of days later, maybe a few days later, around 14%. I would try to play the short-term move here, and if it does manage to break out, play the breakout from 23 to the 200 daily moving average. Will it go higher? Perhaps. Would I scale out the majority of it up here? Yeah, I would. So I think you're fine, but I'd play it safe at this point. And hey, GT, happy to see you back, my man. Let's see. One of the other things that's coming back down a little bit more today is ICP after had a small breakout here, then just got taken down hard. Another opportunity for the golden cross for ICP. And ICP hasn't had a golden cross with the 20 and the 200, guys. Ever, 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 ever. So it'll be its first. So I'm interested to see if this will have any big moves coming out for us. But if you guys want a dark horse trade here that kind of goes a little bit different if everything else is kind of booming, although the company isn't really the best if you ask me, I think you have an opportunity to play some waves here as far as ICP. Right? This isn't really something I'm really all too much happy to be long term holding. Right? I've been buying this up since like $6. Because it's my YOLO play for 2020, like the next bull run basically. Because basically I used to make fun of it the whole time that we were watching it back there in the bear market because it just opened up so high. I was like, no, I'm not paying this much for the coin. It opened up like at the fifth highest market cap of all cryptos, and I was like, why am I going to pay for such a premium on something that doesn't deserve it, right? And I'm glad I didn't. But you can see this thing has just been coming down and down and down. Some sideways action, sure, but just down and over time, down and down and down. And only recently has it really started to come back up after a few different breakouts here. But you might be able to see ICP go from 660 all the way up to 747. You could always hope for other stuff here as far as Fibonacci levels and stuff like that. But for this one here, I mean, you can see we hit it, got rejected. There's another one up here on 697, maybe all the way up here on 868. Ooh. I would probably have my next scale out level somewhere around this range right here. And then maybe my last 20% or something, I wait to see if we get all the way up here to 747. But once we trigger above this support level, kind of between this green and blue line, I'm probably just going to have that stop loss move up there. And if it falls down, so be it. I won't really care too much. But at this point, let's just hope it doesn't fall down below the 20 and the 200. That'd be a big devastating move back to the $5 range. So again, you're watching all this stuff very closely. It's going to be a little bit more tricky of a time to trade if you guys aren't used to it, again, because of all the crazy stuff going on with earnings and federal rate hikes this week. Anything else coming up here? Pro is doing okay, tapping the 20, dot tapping the 20, mana close to the 20, but still managed to break out a few days ago, hitting that resistance level we talked about before. EOS rejected off of there, testing the 20, AXS testing the 20. Luna broke down a while ago. I guess Luna's its own little thing, isn't it? Luna's their own thing. We'll have ICP. Filecoin managed to break. Oh, I guess this isn't the best Fibonacci level here, but basically, oh, it did work out there actually. Filecoin's looking pretty interesting. Managed to break back down below the 200 here, but it's still above the 20 at this point. What would be the best way to do this? Probably this one, I guess now. There and matched up there. Yeah, I guess so. So Filecoin's looking okay as well, though. FTM still. Oh, FTM is something I'd consider. It looks like it may have a short-term breakdown here. Let me see. It should be interesting to watch how that plays out. I can add another trend line here because you guys already see how we had that little move right there. It's still going sideways here, which is actually a pretty good sign. I'm wondering if I move this over a little bit, does that do anything? Yeah, we're currently testing this. We're riding this one out here. I wouldn't necessarily just short the crap out of this if it broke down below this one or this one. I'd probably do an entry position if we break down here. Even if we did break down below the longer one first, I'd probably just be hesitant about it because of the market. And I would try to entry here, double down here. Also, a price target for this one just in case something doesn't go right. Probably move that, have that stop loss be kind of tight here because I'd want it to break down below the 20, the 50 as well here. Because on the daily, if I get out of all this crap now, there you go. See how we're getting, see the weekly, we're getting rejected off of the 50 here. And on the daily, we're still pretty far away from the 20 here. But if we do start breaking down, that'll be a fast one. That'll be a really fast breakdown. How much this rally back up over the last few weeks? 187%. Yeah, this would be a nice one to come back down. First stop loss, honestly, would just be right around there. Makes sense with that resistance. 41 cents, 41 cents, 47 cents to 41 cents. That's about a 10% loss. After that, we start coming back down here, and that's a lot more of a profit return. What do you see Doge doing depending on the Fed decision, looking to maybe try to swing for more coins? As far as Dogecoin is concerned, we talked a little bit about it. It's doing fine right now. I like it a lot. And it looks like it definitely wants to pump up. For me, it looks like it wants to reach 11 cents or so. I would say in order to reach 11 cents, the federal rate hike that we need to see out of the Fed is going to be 0.25 basis point rate hike. And we're going to need to hear not crazy hawkish talk coming from Jerome Powell on his speech or his media press conference on Wednesday, okay? Now, what could help this process even more is if tomorrow with AMD's earnings, we have good earnings. So that'll help out the market. And then on Wednesday, we need Meta to have good earnings. That'll help out the market as well. And then on Thursday, we need to have Google, Amazon, and Apple all have good earnings and good guidance. And that's what's really going to push Dogecoin up a little bit higher. I would say that though, at most, Dogecoin gets up to maybe 11, 12 cents this week. 11 cents seems very probable if the market continues to kind of go more sideways or up. But if the earnings start to get really, really nasty and bad and the market continues to kind of have this little bit of a small pullback, if the pullback extends, so to speak, that's where you see Dogecoin coming back down to maybe 8 cents or so. And that's going to be a pain for a lot of people out there. So just be aware of it. For stop losses, I'd probably just use this 20 weekly moving average right here. And that's all. I'd be willing to let this kind of ride for a little bit. You can see it's still, let's go to the 5-minute chart. We've had a few pullbacks. You can see the Fibonacci levels working out okay. Fine, not the best, not the worst, right? We've had some help here. But we're still finding a way to push back up. And most of this is driven off of the news that we talked about as far as, let me just pull up the news here very fast. And sorry, guys, my eyes aren't 100% because I have contacts in right now. So let me just, oops. Phone bashed on something. Or my computer. Okay, there we go. I just want to go back to there. And let's go to, I just type in Twitter and payments, right? And I just hit news. Oops, that's not how you spell payments. Yeah, here we go. So Elon Musk pushes forward with Twitter payments vision, Financial Times. They're probably going to try to get me to pay for this. Let's see if they do or not. But it says, Twitter has begun applying for regulatory licenses across the U.S. and designing the software required to introduce payments across the social media platform. As Elon Musk searches for the new revenue streams to turn around the business, Esther Crawford, a fast-rising lieutenant to Musk inside Twitter, has started to map out the architecture needed to facilitate payments on the platform with a small team, said two people familiar with the company's plans. The moves to allow payments through the site are a critical part of Musk's plan to open up fresh revenue streams. Twitter's $5 billion a year advertising business has cratered since he bought the platform for $44 billion in October, with marketers citing concerns over its management and consistent moderation. Musk has said he wants Twitter to offer fintech services such as peer-to-peer transactions, savings accounts, and debit cards as part of a master plan to launch an everything app that incorporates messaging, payments, and commerce. In 1999, Musk co-founded X.com, one of the first online banks, which later became part of payments giant PayPal. Right, he owns part of PayPal. Crawford's team is forging ahead, including devising a vault for storing and protecting the user data that would be collected by the system, said two people with knowledge of the team's efforts. Okay, so basically, they're working on all this stuff, and now there's like a little bit of a twist because over the past couple of years, he's been saying, "Hey, I like Dogecoin," and so that Dogecoin part of this is really what's pushing up again Dogecoin here. And you can see Dogecoin is having a small pop there. Look at the 1 minute chart. We like what we see here as far as Dogecoin. Okay, this is why I still hold my Dogecoin to this point, and why I think Robinhood and a lot of these other platforms are still holding it, even though people and the media called it a meme coin. A lot of people believe in Dogecoin solely for the fact that we believe in Elon Musk, right? So, but at this point right here, they said while Twitter had a payment subsidiary, Twitter Payments LLC, in August last year before Musk took over the company, Musk recently appointed Crawford, the director of product management, as the chief executive of Twitter Payments. So this is all being worked out in the background. I don't know exactly how this is going to work out in the long run, but it seems like it's a good way to make some money. He'll have banks, he'll have a payment system. I doubt he's going to have the legitimacy of a Chase Bank or something like that. Maybe more than a Wells Fargo who just steals people's money, right? But at this point, it's probably going to look like something if you guys have a Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, Credit Union app, and you probably have that side of the app that probably looks more streamlined and a lot nicer. And then people can have bank accounts there, their savings accounts there. If you guys, you want to go out to dinner, and I'm like, oh, I forgot my wallet. Can I Twitter you? I don't know what it's going to be for the payments platform, but. Can I tweet you the money? Maybe that's what it's going to be. Can I tweet you the money? I don't even know, but that's basically how it's going to work out. Like a Venmo, PayPal stuff. Although I hope they do go more of the Venmo route and less the PayPal, because PayPal is absolutely horrible to use in my opinion. I get a payment on it or something like, oh, we have to hold the payment to make sure it's real. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? This guy has paid me like every month for the past year, and all of a sudden now it's a fake payment. They do a whole bunch of really shady stuff that I just hate over at PayPal. So I'm hoping they do something similar. This is something like the Venmo system where they just pay me. There's nothing that seems fraudulent about it, and everybody just kind of goes throughout the business. I think that's where a lot of the good news is going to come for Dogecoin and Twitter over the next few years. I don't know who's going to run all this, because I do think eventually after Elon gets everything kind of set up, he's going to put somebody in charge of Twitter, and he's going to go back down to Tesla, and Tesla and SpaceX are his babies. I think he still likes Tesla and SpaceX more than Twitter. I think Twitter he sees, from what I've kind of read about his statements, more as this is my way of doing good to the social fabric, I guess as he put it, because government agencies have had too much of an influence in what people are allowed and are not allowed to say, and it's kind of encroached too much. So he kind of swung the pendulum back. He's like in a lot of heat over pushing the pendulum back, and that's a dysfunction that happens whenever somebody fights back against whatever system's in place. But then after all that, I don't, I think he thinks of it as good. He's going to try to make money off of it. But at the end of the day, I just really think that he's going to go back and focus more on Tesla, and he's going to go back to focus more on SpaceX. And then as Twitter kind of grows in the background, he'll be there to cheerleader it and push it along, but he's not going to be dealing with as much of the day-to-day stuff. So maybe it only takes up like 5 to 10 hours of his week at the end of the day, instead of maybe like, the 20 to 30 it might be taking up of his week right now, as he tries to fix everything up, focus on what what buildings to close, what employees to keep, the new systems to be put on, being worked out, that type of stuff. So, but a lot of this is for Dogecoin still really, really good news. And hey, Nathan, what's the best two exchanges for no trading fees and little slippage? If you want spot trading, I have a link to BingX down below. I like BingX a lot. There's also BitGet. KuCoin is fine. Binance is okay. Binance is a little too cluttered for me, but it's still a good exchange. And that's if you just want to do some day spot trading, I guess it'd work out okay. Looks like Bitcoin's taking a little bit of a dip right now. Somebody's going after Bitcoin. When you see Dogecoin dropping like that, that means that Bitcoin's doing something here as well. And there we go, just fighting with the 20 here. Not the end of the world. Usually people buy it after we break above a 20 on the 15 after a big dump. Usually you can have some nice solid gains if you hold for a little bit. Um, I would say those are a few exchanges. If you want something that's like really no fees, I tend to go like Webull or Robinhood. I don't think I ever have too many fees when it comes to BingX and BitGet and stuff of that nature. But my problem with it basically is sometimes exchanges don't let you have like an all sell button, if that makes sense. So sometimes you could be left with a few pennies or a few fractions of a cryptocurrency in their wallet. Maybe that matters to you, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't really matter to me, um, because BitGet has a way around that as far as I'm trading. Um, but I would say I have a link for BingX. I would encourage you to check that one out. And then if you don't like that, I would try to go to BitGet, which I think also have a link down below too. But um, those are two that aren't too, they don't have crazy fees or stuff like that. Also, I think if you use my BingX link, you get like $100 of trading credit for futures trading. So you can pretty much just do some YOLO trades and see if you can make some money off of it. Think of a free credit at the casino, right? Um, Robinhood and Webull, if you want truly 100% free, though, I think those are probably going to be the cheapest, ultra cheap, like zero, absolutely nothing. You just can't do futures trading and stuff like that on them. But yeah, and there's only a limited amount of coins you can buy. But I'd encourage BingX, BitGet, usually pretty fine. If you want something that's more well known, I'd probably just refer you to KuCoin. KuCoin's a solid platform as well. Same with Binance. They're just a little bit cluttered for me sometimes, but they're still very, very good, and they have lots of programs and different ways you can make money. I guess all of them do, but yeah, those few are something I'd recommend. So maybe sell near 11 cents and buy back during a pullback after the pump. That's what I'd be doing, but I wouldn't necessarily be selling all of my Dogecoin. Instead, I'd be doing something more of a scale out. So I do proportionate scale outs based on how crazy the pump is going. So for Dogecoin, if I wanted to do this method, I'd probably scale to only 30 to 40% of my crypto around 11 cents. And if it does come back down, or when it does come back down, I'd be willing to buy it back up. But you have to be willing to wait for it to come back down because maybe it goes up to 12 cents. You just don't know. But eventually it will pull back down, and you have to be just like, okay, I gotta wait for it. I gotta wait for it. I gotta wait for it. So that's the only downside to doing a strategy like that. But yeah, I would encourage, that'd be my strategy right now, is to kind of sell around that 11 cent range, 11, 12 cent range. Really just around 11, but just not freaking out if it hits 12, basically. Um, and then from there, if it comes back down to 9 cents, even 10 cents, right? You're starting to rebuy in bit by bit by bit. If you're just going to try to do one lump sum buy, I'd probably wait for it to come back to 8 cents. You'll be making a little bit of a profit, maybe a 10-15% profit. So 10-15% more tokens after you've done that type of trade. I do that a lot with STMX, and I do it a lot with not BingX, BGB. Like right now, BGB is popping up a little bit more, and I've been buying in a little bit more to it. What's that? There you go. 15-minute chart doesn't look as nice, but go to the daily chart. You know, it's reaching all-time highs right now, or close to all-time highs. It got all-time highs back in October. So I like what I'm seeing here. Hopefully it'll make some type of front cup and handle or something. But this is close to making all-time highs, which I really, really do like. While everything else is kind of going down, but this market cap, of course, is much lower than a lot of other plays out there. This market cap is only around like 250, $300 million market cap. I don't know actually at this point. After that last little pump we had, it's up to $310 million market cap. So a small market cap play, under a dollar. I wish it was under a penny, but I can live with it. And I want to see where this goes. It's like 218 on the coin market cap list, so it's not even on the first or second page. But I'm hoping over time this does really big things because it is a really big exchange. But yeah, it all depends on how many coins you're looking to make, or what percentage you're trying to make after doing a sell and buyback method on the pullback down. Back over here to the 15. There you go. Play this out a little bit. See. And hey, Lake, crypto is doing good regardless of inflation. The Fed comes in to raise rates. That's pure manipulation. They're gonna raise rates for probably a few more months here, maybe until the end of March. If things get more sticky, maybe they go into April. But I think after March, that's the last rate hike. So we could actually have a boost in Q2 if the economy is still holding up with the end of rates. Of course, then we have to start looking at like the trajectories of what's been going on. So we have right? We have retail sales going down and getting worse and worse and worse now. Not looking as good at this point in time. Even with the holidays, sales were going down, which is never a good sign, right? Um, and basically, maybe I can find this out. Can I go over here? No. There you go. Let's see. Go back over here. There you go. See, people, their savings have been going down bit by bit by bit, and now it's just starting to tweak back up here to maybe 3.25, three and a half right here. People don't have as much money in their savings account, so as we start getting into more of these times where people have to go back out and do other stuff, and as they're getting laid off, they just don't have the money to really keep them going and spending out as much money as they did before. Hopefully, what that does though is that actually, since people can't spend as much money, they just choose not to buy stuff. Hopefully what that allows the Fed to do is say, hey, inflation is coming down because people aren't spending as much. Therefore, we can cut rates earlier if a recession does come. Is the faster we get inflation down to 2%, the faster the Federal Reserve can cut rates in the case of an emergency like an economic crisis where we have a recession of something like that. What website is this? Trading Economics. Let me see if I can find right here. There you go, right? Coming back down, a little bit of a pump right here. I like that. Um, People kind of got freaked out a little bit, and you can see that right here. When people kind of freak out about the economy, they save up a little bit more, and that's what you want to see. Um, Remember when we had like record high gas prices and everything? You saw how it ticked up. When people get fearful, they just stop spending temporarily, and then boom, they go back down a little bit. But you can see we're down to 2.3. Not the best. Maybe I can go to forecast here. Little curve right there. Hopefully it comes back up. I really hope it comes back up because that might mean that hey, we're going to have a better economy than expected going for the rest of the year. Um, let's see any other news right here. Let's see. The PCE price index in the United States rose by 0.1% month over month in December of 2022, the same as in the previous month. Services price increased 0.5 versus 0.3%. Oh, that's not good. While those for goods declined a further 0.7% versus 0.4%. That's good. So services are still more expensive, and services have been a pain for inflation overall. Food prices went up 0.2%, following another 0.3% gain in November. Year over year, PCE price index rose by 5%, the least since September 2021. The least since September 2021. Yeah, that's a long time ago, isn't it? So prices are still going up. That's a concern, okay? So when we talk about inflation and we talk about CPI and stuff like this, we're normally talking about, hey, inflation versus last year. And so, it's eventually going to go down, but it doesn't mean that, hey, prices aren't going up month over month over month. Prices are still going up. And some of that's driven by eggs. If you guys buy eggs, you guys know how expensive everything is. It all kind of goes into this calculation that the Federal Reserve has to do. But, if the Fed is smart, they'd be like, hey, well, we can't really do anything about the cost of eggs because it's more about a flu that went around that killed tons and tons of hens, right? So raising interest rates isn't going to do anything there. When you have higher interest rates, credit card payments go up, car payments go up, housing payments go up, yada yada yada. Um, so they don't want to increase rates, but their main goal here is they need to stomp out inflation thoroughly before they can really start pulling back and saying, "Hey, let's finally do some type of rate hike here." Anything else here though? No. US PCE prices rebound. Yeah, that's not good news. But that's what we were just talking about, basically. There we go. And anything, sweet man. Yeah, fraction of a penny. Nah, nah, thanks. Yeah. Oh man, what do you call it? Because what was it? Um, I don't know why they have it that way. I think you could sell. I think if you hit the all button, it gets rid of all the crypto. But I always feel like there's just like a little fraction of a penny that's always left in there, and it's just there. And I think that's maybe because I'm an affiliate of theirs, and I just get like portions of crypto every now and again. but it feels weird just to have a portion of a crypto. So what a lot of these exchanges do as kind of the backup, because I don't think there's a way to get rid of it. I guess it's maybe just like how many decimals can it go. So like if you say I want to buy 5 Bitcoin or 5 Dogecoin, then you never run into this problem. But if you say I want to spend $11, then that $11 is worth so many Dogecoin in penny cents, right? So if you just say I want 5 Dogecoin or 10 Dogecoin, you're never going to run into that problem. But if you say I want $10 worth of Dogecoin, that's where you get into those wild decimals, and that's why they're always there. I should have clarified it with that, but I'm a weird guy, and I say I want $10 worth of Dogecoin, not 10 Dogecoin. I say the opposite with stocks. I had like 5 Microsoft, right? I don't do that with crypto for some reason because they're kind of like both currencies, and I don't view stocks as actual currencies. But yeah, so you normally won't have a problem with it. But if you do, the way that KuCoin, I believe, and BitGet fix around this, maybe BingX, I don't know about BingX honestly about this problem, but BitGet and KuCoin, they will have this in the wallet section. It should be like a little exchange button. And basically, it exchanges all the tiny amounts of your crypto that you have in your wallet. It exchanges into the KuCoin or the BitGet coin, BitGet token, and then all those fractions like 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, a dollar, whatever. It all gets bundled up into BitGet tokens or KuCoin tokens, and then you can sell that KuCoin token and then just put that money in another wallet, maybe like $5-10, whatever it may be, but you can move it to another wallet. But yeah, it can be very annoying. So if you guys ever don't want to run into that problem, just buy 10 Dogecoin, 10 Ethereum, 10 XRP, whatever, but don't buy $100 worth of Dogecoin. Don't buy $100 worth of it, if that makes sense. You guys will know when you guys are doing your spot trading and stuff like that. Let's see. Coinbase be out of hand on fees? Yeah, Coinbase can be really wild. Like last year with Coinbase, I think I moved around like over $80,000-90,000, like just moving it between accounts because it's like my middle account, like how I move money across, right? Um, and I ended up just getting Coinbase One, and it's like I don't know how much Coinbase One costs. I should really figure that out, but it's a monthly fee, and it takes away the fees for me to sell my assets. So if I transfer money over to Coinbase, because I don't actually deposit money in Coinbase ever anymore, I will transfer it over from a BitGet or a KuCoin or wherever I'm doing some trading. I'll transfer like $1,000 over. Okay, I will pay a $3 fee to transfer $1,000 on BitGet through ERC20. With no more Ethereum one. From there, it goes over to Coinbase. I have Tether. If I want to sell my Tether for US dollars cash, that's a fee. So I pay for Coinbase One, so I don't have to deal with that fee. Because that fee would probably cut that $1,000 like $950, right? And then from there, I have to send it to my bank. Now I go through instant banking every single time, which costs more money, but it's because I'm always paranoid of maybe an exchange going down while I'm waiting for my money to transfer. It's just a paranoia thing I have after everything I've saw about last year. I just would rather pay the premium to send it over. And sending $1,000 over instant pay, that'll usually cost about 20-30 bucks just to do that. And so, that 20-30 bucks, it can add up, over time. So I just pay that, but I choose to get the Coinbase One so I don't have to pay for the fee just to sell the Tether back into cash, which is what I prefer to do. Like, cost. There you go. What is the cost? Oh, $30 a month. I pay $30 a month for this. Okay, $30 a month, which pays for itself if you're moving large amounts of money. If you guys are only moving around $50 to $20 a month, maybe you guys don't need Coinbase One. But that's usually the thing I trust to move my money from point A to point B. Now I could possibly do it with Robinhood. I just don't use my Robinhood account a lot, and on top of that, Um, I don't even know if Robinhood has a wallet for Tether. Might have to do Bitcoin or something. Maybe I don't know. If Robinhood got the Tron network on board, I'd love that because Tron's only $1 to send money over. Dollar fee. That's it. That's why I love Tron. Well, Ethereum is like $3. Ethereum used to be like $5, $10 every single time we transferred over. Now it's come down a lot, but I'm hoping they can get down to that Tron price of $1 because Tron is just fantastic. I never had a complaint about it. The money gets sent over nice and easy, and it's perfectly fun. Like when I transfer between KuCoin and Robinhood, or between KuCoin and Bitget and Binance, Tron, $1 fee to transfer a couple $1,000. Beautiful. Meanwhile, other exchanges may be a little bit more than that, or other means of travel could be a little bit more. When is Powell kicking us in the face? That'll be February 1st, I believe, which is on the Wednesday. And then after Wednesday, we also have earnings. So we have earnings all this week. So tomorrow's big earnings report that I think you guys should pay attention to is AMD. Wednesday, the big earnings report that follows the Fed announcements. We got Fed speak during the middle of the day. He's going to be done. Then we're going to have after hours. After hours, we have earnings. That big one for Wednesday is going to be Meta. What's Facebook doing? Advertising spending, because that gives us a little bit of a heads up of what may be happening with Apple. Okay. Google, because Google owns YouTube. Now, on Thursday, this is the big boom, 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 whatever, the big thing. Where we have Apple earnings, Google earnings, and Amazon earnings. Holy trinity of like glorious pumpers. Like we can pump us up like crazy, or it can just crash the entire market at the same time. Okay, so we want to see that those earnings are solid and good. And then we also want to see, besides the earnings, we want to see guidance showing some really good strength and some really good numbers going forward. If the guidance isn't good, the market will fall down very, very hard in a short amount of time or stabilize. We won't make new lows anytime soon, I don't think. But we're going to drop down. We're going to give up a lot of the gains, basically, we had over the past few days, past few weeks. And it's going to feel really shitty. But then that's going to be the next opportunity for you to buy everything back up again, play another wave, and then make sure you guys can have some fun with it and do some trades. But you can see Bitcoin pull back all the way to like 18,000 if that's the case, okay? So not to 15,000, 16,000, whatever that low was from a few months ago, but back down to 18, 20,000. Totally realistic that Bitcoin goes back down there if the earnings reports are not good as far as Apple, Amazon, and Google, okay? So just be aware of that. But yeah, Jerome Powell's kicking our face in Wednesday afternoon. I think 11 a.m. I think that's the normal time is. Let me go over here very fast. Fed meeting time. There you go. When is the next Fed meeting? I love when they can answer the questions very easily. They don't even tell you. Oh my gosh. There you go. 2 p.m. Eastern time, Wednesday. Let's see. So, decision at 2 p.m., 2:30, we have the press conference. We're going to be looking at both of them, though, so I'll be live on Wednesday to kind of go through all this. But it's Wednesday the 1st. Yeah. January 31st to February 1st. It comes out on the second day. We won't have one until March 22nd. We won't have one until March 22nd here. So no hike, late February, or no hike in January, I guess you would say, right? So March 22nd, then May 3rd. So nothing on April. So March might be the last hike here if we're lucky, but we gotta pay close attention to it. Now, for March, I'll be here, I believe, March the 22nd to the 24th. So I'll be here to do a video on that, but I will be gone the 20. Here, 2023 calendar printable. Sure, whatever. There you go. Let's zoom in here. There you go. So here's March. I'm gonna be gone this. So that's gonna. What did I just say? This was March 22nd. So that's all the way over here. Okay. So on a Saturday. Oh no, sorry. Okay, over here on a Wednesday. Another Wednesday. Okay, good. I'll be here for this week, but on the 26th, I'm in Vegas. 27th, I'm in Vegas. 28th, I'm in Vegas. 29th, I'm in Vegas. The 30th, I'm in Vegas, and I come back home on the 30th, I believe. So I'll be in Vegas for this whole week. So I will be talking and hanging out with you guys through like me videotaping and stuff, but it'll be short crypto transaction stuff and not necessarily like streams and whatnot because I'll be on vacation. Although I may do a couple of streams when I'm just walking around Vegas, just chilling out because I have like four battery packs that I take with me, so my phone is like charged up all the time. So you guys could have some fun with me as I walk around Vegas. They won't let me videotape me playing slots and I don't think that type of stuff, but it'll be fun just to kind of walk around Vegas in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, getting a nice little food from the food truck. That's what my life is going to be about. I'll also be posting some pictures of when I go to get some steak at Delmonico. Here they have some good steak, some shellfish. Going to be a good time, guys. Good time. Let's see. See, and hey, Anonymous, I hope that Powell does not do a 75 basis point rate hike. I do think I agree with you there that like this Apple Google stuff is going to have much more of an impact because so far Apple is really what's been holding up the entire market at this time, right? So if those earnings are not good, we go down hard and fast. Yeah, and it is Thursday. It's the day after. It's the day after. The only big earnings that you guys should really worry about, in my opinion, is going to be Meta. I mean, there's other earnings that happen on Wednesday, so let's go over here very fast. Wednesday. All right, so right here, Meta, Spotlight. Aflac, Allstate, anything else? eBay, perhaps. eBay, I think it may be a little bit of a bellwether one. Humana could be something. Netgear, possibly. I don't really see much other stuff here, right? T-Mobile, maybe. Waste Management, always something there. Thursday is where the big boys play, right? So you got Apple, you got Alibaba, you got Google, you got Amazon. Go down a little bit more. Excuse me. You got ConocoPhillips, you got Clorox if you guys like Clorox. Estee Lauder, Ford Motor Company for auto earnings and stuff like that. After Tesla just had their good earnings report. Harley Davidson, Hershey Foods. That's a lot of like store type stuff. GoPro maybe. MicroStrategy if you guys like that. Qualcomm, huge Qualcomm. Let me go to QCOM over here on Finviz. QCOM. There you go. Again, recently just had a breakout as well, doing fine. But earnings February 2nd after market close. Market cap of 148 billion. Big company. We'll have to wait and see how this turns out. But so far, it got upgraded from equal weight to overweight. So price target of 150 now, and it's at 131. Yeah, so it's doing just fine at this point. Anything else here? Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. There you go. Sirius XM, Skechers, I don't know, Under Armour. Under Armour is usually something that moves the market, and so is Starbucks. So, and WWE, if you guys care about that. Really, Thursday is the big day for earnings, okay? Which means we won't feel those earnings until Friday. Okay? Friday is going to be the big volatile day. Well, Wednesday's going to be volatile, Thursday's going to be volatile, and Friday's going to be volatile. They're all going to be volatile, but Friday is going to either be very awesome or very catastrophic. There's not going to be any in between after all these earnings come out. Friday, we only have a few, right? Nothing really there at all. Cigna. Only thing I'd actually pay attention to is Cigna right there. Nothing really else there. Okay, but that's what I'm seeing right now, at least. Let's see. How much of a dip do you think Bitcoin will go to after the rate hike, or it won't affect it much? Well, as far as Bitcoin's concerned right now, we've already had that breakdown below the 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart. That was my primary warning sign here, where we could see some turbulence as far as everything's concerned. So at this point, I think the dip could go back down between this range of 22,279 and back up here towards 22,611. I'd be happy to buy it around here and see if it manages to pop back up. That's the short-term goal, okay? Now, if you don't want to buy over here because you think the market's going to go down or it's just too turbulent, a stronger level of support than this is actually just going to be this trend line down here. This is where Bitcoin is going to really try to hold and have a really good last hurrah. Typically, the way it works, though, is the first attempt it comes back down, right? That's where you want to buy after it's had like a few days of not tapping it, because we only had one tap right there, right? It'll bounce. If it comes back down here, be forewarned, usually the second tap or the third tap is what really drags it down a little bit further, okay? So The first time it comes back down, a good buying opportunity, but you want to have a plan to get out of that trade if it doesn't go your way, okay? That could be having a stop loss 1 to 2% above where you bought it, or just 1% above where you bought it, basically. And then that could also be just saying, hey, if it comes back down here, I'll just have a 2% stop loss and I'll just lose 2%. But sometimes it's okay to try to step it up a little bit just to make sure you don't lose as much money. Because if we do end up breaking down below this trend line and below these moving averages here, again, this is a 4-hour chart, we come back down to this area, which is kind of around $21,500 to $20,000. It's a pretty pessimistic area to be in because you saw how like altcoins were down like 5-10% today off of just this little move up here. Yeah, they'll come down a lot if Bitcoin decides to come back down. So that's what you got to be more aware of at this point. Now, one other thing, the 20-day moving average, it's coming up pretty hot. We don't want to break down below this. It hasn't really been the biggest thing, I don't think, for the most part here. But you guys can see whenever we break out above the 20, you can see there's a little bit of a boom there. And on the other side as well, when we break down below the 20, we tend to have a bad time. Now, this is obviously FTX stuff, but you can see these nasty wicks that we're seeing. It usually takes a little bit of force to break us back down. So big breakdown right there. Let's see, last time broke over 20. Big move right there, small move right there, bigger move right there, bigger move right there. Bigger move right there, bigger move right there. I guess bigger move right there, that's kind of crazy. Bigger move right there. Big move going up across it, big move coming down, big move coming down. You know, there's a lot of force when it comes to breaking these moving averages, basically, right? Big force there, big force there. When we come into the 20, you know, we need to make sure that we're staying well above it. That's the point here. We don't really want to have to come into contact with it. Maybe we'll kind of do a little side study where we're kind of testing it out for a little bit. Fine. But you'll know when we start to crash down below it because it'll be painful and ugly. So just be aware. Like we could even pump back up here towards $23,000, $24,000. The 20 is up here. And we could just crash, but just back down to support, then you buy. So, you know, just keep an eye out for it. I'm hoping that over the next few days, we kind of go more sideways and up until tomorrow, I guess it's Thursday, it's Tuesday. We go strong into earnings by just going sideways. I know that sounds weird, but go sideways into earnings, go sideways into Federal Reserve rate hikes, and then afterwards, we pump up a little bit higher to go up towards $25,000. Excuse me. And hey, Sivas, yeah, we've talked about Dogecoin already, but let me pop it up for you very fast. Basically, what are you trying to do with it? Because at this point in time, we're slowly consolidating. We've had a smaller breakout above this Fibonacci resistance level right here. And we're kind of currently battling with this 0.0925 level as far as Dogecoin is concerned, or the 0.5 up here. Afterwards, though, you have a few more up here around what, 0.096, then 0.10, like 10 cents, and then close up here to 11. At this point in time, my resistance level for Dogecoin that I'm really going to try to scale out at, excuse me, is going to be right up here around 11 cents. That's the goal for me, okay? Now, I could always add other stuff on here as well, but I usually just tend to, you can always take stuff off here. It's like, what's the best one to do? I mean, we don't really need the reds here for now. The green's not going to really kill us. This other green's not going to kill us for now. We can keep it on there just to see. And let's take off the blue. There we go. And let's get off the other blue first as well. There we go. This is basically what I'm looking at here, and it kind of matches up with some of the resistance levels we're talking about. So you see this resistance level right here, matches up with right there. We have some kind of building up right there, and that kind of matches up with that block that we just had a few seconds ago before I got rid of the other one. So I'm really hoping that we get back up to 11 cents or so. That's my goal here. Because we've already had that first breakout, and it's still going strong. And the catalyst for this at this moment in time really just happens to be that Elon Musk and Twitter, they're starting to do the paperwork. I don't know if right here. They're starting to do the paperwork to become a payments platform to finish off Elon's payments Twitter vision, so to speak, right? So as more news tends to break out about that, let's have a nice breakout. Let's hope we get back up to 11 cents, and that's my primary price target as for now. If Bitcoin starts to crash and we start to break down below this general trend line right there, yeah, of course things are going to get a little bit more painful because we're probably going to come back down to like 7.5 cents. It's not going to be pretty. But we're hoping that so far we can continue to test out this resistance level, which we're doing now, have a breakout, and then from there, we'll have some resistance levels as well. Like, I just got rid of those lines. They're still there. But really just going up here to 11, like 0.10986 to 12 cents up here. Really, that's the scale out level that I'm looking for, and you can see how that level matches up pretty well with them. But let me see if I go over here to like the 50-minute chart. right? Knocked down here, or knocked down here, knocked down here, knocked down here. This time we got a little bit higher. Again, getting knocked down, but we are showing some strength here, which means Dogecoin can possibly try to get up to 10 cents before we wake up tomorrow morning, which would be awesome, right? But you can see definitely a lot of struggles. First time we hit this level, rejected. Second time, rejected. Third time, rejected within the same day. Fourth time, rejected hard to support levels. Fifth time, rejected, but still holding strong. And we're still making these, well, a general higher low situation. Over the last few days, it's really messed up that higher low scenario here because we just got hit hard. But we're still looking okay, so I would expect us to try to hit up that 11-cent range. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's go there. And you can even see right here how we faced some resistance over the past few days. And only when we broke out here, we're starting to show that strength on a multi-day basis. Back up here a little bit to the 15, right? Definitely having issues closing above this line on the daily. Sure, we kind of scoop up and get rejected there, but we have to close above on the daily. And if we don't, that's where things tend to get a little bit more rough. A little bit way more rough. There you go. But yeah. And it gave you a few opportunities over the last 12 hours to actually buy in if you guys did want to buy in on support. Kind of sketchy opportunities here, right? There. There. Imagine trying to buy here, holding through there, watching go all the way back down, and watching it skyrocket like that. There's some waves happening. So, but your opportunity to really buy it was this, what was this, 30-minute, 13-hour window. That was kind of the opportunity really to get by. It was even a shorter window if you think about how much it pumped right here. It really takes out those few hours of having a nice buy-in part. There you go. And at this point, Bitcoin's having a small breakdown here, and that's what you guys are just watching. That small little breakdown. Not the end of the world, but you're seeing some people do some small shorts just because of it to, still with scalping. How high do you think Litecoin can go? Let me check. Litecoin kind of goes more sideways than anything. Let's kind of see. Zoom out here. 200 weekly moving average. If we have some good news coming out over the next few weeks, next few days, as far as Google, Amazon, and all the stuff we've already talked about, I would say that I would expect it to get back up here between $133 and $145. It would almost be something more of like a halfway bull market type of feel to it. And that might give you about another 42% on the upside as far as this is concerned. On the weekly charts, look, we're about to have a golden cross. And I guess last time we had a golden cross, we had a little bit of a pump afterwards. Same with this golden cross. I don't know if there's another Litecoin chart I could use to go a little bit further back in time. Let me see if there is. Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. I don't know. No. Freaking no. There we go. Okay. Right. I think we should be able to find something strong over there. We don't have to worry about anything over there really. We already broke out above that resistance, this shoulder, head and shoulders play over there. Yeah. Somewhere between $120 and $140 would be a price target if we manage to break out above this 200 here. That'd be a nice strong move. Just be careful on the weekly chart. We better not break down below that. We could actually easily have a pullback here. But at least at this point in time, everything's looking strong. Pretty aggressive upswing here. So just watch out for some smaller breakdowns there. But it really comes down to we better not break down below this. Otherwise, we start coming back down here to these lows at $52, which would be like a 50% loss. But I'd probably say part way we're just going to come down here to 80s or something like that. But it can definitely go sky high. It just really depends on what Bitcoin's doing at this point in time. Or, to me, not Bitcoin, earnings for stocks. What has been my biggest loss in crypto or stocks, and what potential do you see in SHIB? SHIB, there's potential, but I think it's only going to go up when Dogecoin goes up. I think it's just too much tied to Dogecoin right now because nobody ever... I just don't hear them making waves the way Dogecoin is making waves, if that makes sense, as far as what they're doing, the partnerships they're doing, and all that type of stuff. They're making splashes. I just wouldn't say they're being waves, right? And it's very hard to make a wave in this type of community because, Dogecoin's making waves only because Elon Musk is working with them. Right? You got the richest guy in the world, or the former richest guy in the world, I guess, working with them. Now, as far as like my biggest loss, biggest loss in crypto was probably $1,000 bet YOLO that I made on some coin a long time ago. I don't remember what it was called. It was one of those things that just kind of buying a little bit into it. Um, I forget what the coin is. Like it was something related to a metaverse type of token. It didn't do well. It was a low market cap coin, so I was just trying it out. Because I hate paying the fees, so I decided to just put in enough money if I only wanted to purchase it in once. But it was a stupid trade, and I lost money because of it. Stocks, $10,000 loss on some oh, what was it? Some options pertaining to, was it Turtle Beach? I think it was Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach, they make headphones and equipment for gamers and stuff like that. I did a an options play on that, hoping it was going to work out. The technicals were all set up, but it had some type of like downgrade during the trade, and my calls just went to shit within like 5 hours. Like the call came out in the morning time, the price dropped pre-market. As soon as the market opened, it was all gone. I just sold out of everything, and I was like, I took like $10,000, ended up being like $10, $5, something like that. It was a really small amount. Everything just basically went to 0.01. So everything was worth a penny basically. Turtle Beach. Do I even still have Turtle Beach? What is Turtle Beach? Right. It's definitely come down a lot over the years. Definitely had some bad moves. And it kind of got stuck over here. This is back in 2014, 2015. No, it wasn't. It was over here. Sorry, I just think of it myself as like I was stuck in that now. I was stuck in this move. Um, same bad disaster, just not as crazy. But last year this thing had some crazy moves as well. Kind of went all the way back up to 37. Now it's back down to 9. I may buy some of this for long term, but I think I want to see this get bought out. The market cap is only 159 million, so it's not like a crazy market cap. And it's losing money now. Wow, I thought it was making money. But yeah, see, it's optionable, shortable, no dividend, of course. Um, but yeah, yeah, that's probably my largest loss. Um, I have lost more, I guess, on certain trades, but they were hedge trades. So I was planning on a very volatile movement of stock. So I put more money in calls than puts, and the puts go to zero, but the calls make me more money than I would have lost overall. But I don't consider those losses. I consider those some type of strategy, if you will. Turtle Beach. Oh, I don't want. I just want to see the website. Yeah. So they make a whole bunch of stuff like this. Flight racing simulator today. Headphones over here. Really nice headphones. I like them a lot. Um, you know, headsets, PlayStation, Switch, PC. I don't know. PC headphones. $199. I think they got more expensive ones here, but the cool thing is it gives you microphones. I guess microphones. I got a nice pair of headphones right here, but they don't have headphones. Price high to low. Yeah, Elite Pro 2 headset. The headphones I have right now kill these ones as far as audio quality and stuff like that. But these don't have headphones. Well, they don't have speakers, but they don't have microphones. The microphones are kind of built into the side, so they're there. You guys could hear me if I talk to you guys, but it's not as crisp as something like this. So that's why they have the gamer stuff there. What I have are Sony, these these old things from Best Buy. They're fine. I'd recommend them if you guys like to travel a lot. I got these headphones just because my Sennheisers were getting a little bit more worn down, so I had to for me to buy some more cushions for my Sennheisers. But if you guys want really nice headphones, Sennheiser, not the Momentums, honestly. The Momentums really aren't my favorite. But if you go over here to connect all, the 350 is kind of the same price range. Shop, audiophile, home listening. No, I just want wireless listening. You can go with home listening. They're really nice, but that's only if you have like a vinyl or something you can really enjoy the music coming from them. Where's it at? No, no. Is that the wireless they have? 16 products? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, well. Maybe they're not. No, maybe I'm confusing my wireless ones with my non-wireless because I have the HDs. There's some HDs. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. No, these aren't the HDs we are looking for. Wait, almost there. Almost there. No. Don't they have the sevens? Okay. I'm pretty sure they're just these, but I don't. These might just be a newer model than I have because these look really all fancy and whatnot. I'm more of a plain guy when it comes to my headphones as far as what they need to look like. HD 650s, they're really, really great. I'd highly recommend these a lot. Even the ones below them, the fives, they're fantastic. Um, you can wear them outside, but they do have an open ear. I don't mind causing people inconvenience to while I listen to music. um, but if you're on a plane, it's probably better just to go with the Sennheisers or the Sonys. And hey, Anonymous, FTX caused an artificial drop to 15K. I don't see Bitcoin reaching that again unless something catastrophic happens with the overall market. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I expect something catastrophic to happen to the market sometime over the next 2 quarters, and that's why I think we're going to be going back down there. But until we get back, until the market really shows us like, hey, recession, recession, recession signs, I think we're going to be just fine as far as kind of going more sideways and doing some, maybe we'll move down to 20,000, maybe at worst 18,000. But I think it'll be hard for us to go back down below $18,000 unless we have some really bad news coming out about guidances from some companies, and I don't really see those bad guidances coming out until maybe quarter two, quarter three, the quarter two earnings reports, basically. Um, but that artificial drop, I think, is actually why Bitcoin rallied so high over the past few weeks, because even though that drop was artificial and it was very, very nasty, it still didn't find a way to pull down the 20-week moving average and the 50-week moving average more than before. To the point where if you guys even look at the exponential moving averages, those have already had the first death crosses ever. So, let's load a layout here. Which one is it? Tutorials for channel, yeah. So over here, forget all the other lines and stuff. This is your simple moving averages, and you can see how we're about to have a death cross between the 50-week and the 200-week. And if I just go back over here, I know it's small, bear with me. You guys just clearly see that the 50-week, the blue line never crosses down below the yellow line. As far back as we go, the blue line, even over here, never crosses down below the yellow line. Never, 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 never. Now over here, there we go. We got exponential moving averages. Download your text form. Oh, I don't have taxes. Oh, it's blocking. It's behind my head, so you guys can't see it. I don't trade off of TradingView. Maybe I did at one point. I don't think so. Get it now. Okay, hold on a second, guys. It wouldn't let me delete it. TradingView. Refresh. I don't care about the changes. Okay, good. Okay, it's gone. Okay, so now we go over to the EMAs here, and the death cross has already happened. It happened, this 2 weeks ago? Now I put more faith in the simple moving averages, but here, it's there. It happened. Not a good sign, and let's see what happens. If we're going to find a way to get back above it, or we're going to continue to get pushed back down below it. But again, go back in time a little bit. No death cross, no death cross. Death cross between the 20 and the 50, the 200 over here. The green line did cross down below the yellow line over here, but the 50 did not. So we're kind of hitting this new scenario here where we're like, what the heck is going on? How bad does this symbolize things are going to get? And so my hope here is, if I'm being very optimistic about cryptocurrencies and where we could go in the future, I hope that crypto actually finds a way to rally before the stock market does. But that is such a huge thing to try to hope for. And that's why I'm doing so much more dollar cost averaging, buying at these lows, buying at 17,000, 16,000, 15,000, whatever, buying and buying and buying. And while I still have a lot of cash on the sidelines, because I think we may go back further, even if we get, even if Bitcoin decides to go into its own little bull market here, well, the stock market goes kaput and goes to like crazy lows or whatever, I'll still be able to make some money off of that But in the event that we continue to go down and Bitcoin goes to $15,000 again, 12,000, 10,000, whatever, I still have more cash on the sidelines to buy back in. I told you guys that I was going to be scaling out of some positions today. If you guys were watching the member stream yesterday, and I scaled out, and I don't know if we're going to continue to pump up, so to speak, over the next week or so, but I've decided that I made enough money on some of these swing trades that were kind of more spot trades, if you consider like the stock market. I'm fine to just, yeah, I made some money. I'm pulling out a little bit, and I'll wait to see if there's another opportunity to buy back in here. It's right here. And hey, Patrick, I really do need to start putting videos up on Rumble. I'll start doing that actually tomorrow. I don't think it'll take too much more of my time to do it, um, because I know there's people on Rumble. I know the audience for crypto isn't massive, but I still think there's an opportunity for me to grow my brand on the channel. So I gotta put a sticky note on my computer about that and just say, hey, don't forget to post Rumble videos, because I make the video, I have the files, I can simply just post the video on Rumble. So I'll do that tomorrow. I do the same thing with TradeZing, but TradeZing pays me to do it. Um, so yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. Thanks for reminding me, Patrick, because I really need to start doing that. I keep on forgetting about it, and I even get messages on my Rumble every now and again. So I really need to start posting on Rumble too. And no worries, Siva's happy to help you out. The day Twitter accepts Dogecoin, you think it can go to its previous high as a use case, just not hype? No, I would say Dogecoin could have a really big move, but like let's say it happened today. I would say Dogecoin goes from like 10 cents at max 40 cents, something like that. Like, a huge, huge move for sure, but the closer it is to all-time highs, the easier it just kind of gets for that to occur. I'd probably say at most a 40 cents, like a massive pump off of it. You'd see people trading it like crazy. And the one reason I think I'd be able to go that so high is because you're able to trade it on a Robinhood, a Webull. You can trade it anywhere. Dogecoin is literally like on almost every single exchange because so many people were making money off of it, and it was used as like the number one marketing tool for so many different exchanges out there. You guys probably remember this, but when Dogecoin was going off, didn't you guys see like the Webull ads, the Robinhood ads, the Binance ads online, the KuCoin ads? They're like, you can trade Dogecoin here. They made it the marketing tool to get people to sign up on their apps and platforms. Um, so I think that's why Dogecoin can go so high so fast. And then once Sheeb kind of came around a couple weeks later, guess what? Sheeb also was used as a marketing tool for a while there as well, especially by Webull. And thanks, Anonymous. I appreciate it a lot, my man. I appreciate it a lot. I try to make it nice and simple here, which is why I keep everything separate, like the GAN boxes and stuff like that, but it works out. Rumble can be a place for your tinfoil hat moments. I think that's actually true. I should do more of those because I think there's a lot of corruption and like greed in this current system, and I'm always fearful that YouTube's going to censor my content if I do that. Um, because remember, I had a short that I did, and you don't really make money off of shorts, but I monetized it because they're doing a monetized thing here pretty soon as far as shorts content is concerned. And I did a short post about the special counsel because Trump has a special counsel, Biden has one, and I think Durham has another one or something like that. And the video was it wasn't allowed to make money off of it because of the, I guess I talked about the special counsel, and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? It's not like I was like saying like, oh my God, Joe Biden deserves to be in jail, blah 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 blah. I was just like, hey, there's a special counsel out there. This is pretty interesting because we've never had this many special counsels at once. It's freaking insane, right? But YouTube didn't like this, so maybe I can actually do that type of stuff on Rumble, which will be pretty interesting as well. But I have a Rumble account. I just need to start posting more on it. And I even know some of the co-founders of Rumble. I've met them at venture capital groups. They've asked me a lot about it. I need to hit them up and see if they can like artificially promote my channel or something like that as well. And hey, Ken, I bought some Sennheiser earbuds a while ago. They have some good sound quality. They're absolutely amazing sound quality. I was talking with the sound engineer about them, and he was saying that the levels. I can't articulate his thoughts because he's just a master of his craft. He was basically explaining the reason they're so good is because they give you so much more depth, but you can just also hear other stuff that you can't hear on other headphones, basically. But Sennheisers are just amazing. I used to have some Sennheiser earbuds. I used to have some Bose earbuds, but I lost both of them. So I just refuse to get earbuds anymore because I just lose them. And they're like $300 earbuds. So I hate myself for losing that much money, right? But headphones for everyday use, these Sony's aren't too bad. Sennheiser's, the Sennheiser Momentums are fine if you want day to day headphones or just travel headphones. If you want some good quality ones that you can just plug into your computer, like you're like, oh my gosh, this music just sounds great, you should go with Sennheisers. If you got some extra money though, if you got some extra money, Audio Technica, probably my favorite brand of headphones, but I rarely buy them because there's so much money. I've only bought one pair. It cost me like $3,000. And then I use them every now and again. I rarely use them, mostly because I used to have a little bit of studio equipment and I don't have it anymore, so I really can't appreciate the full amount of sound here. It's like the cheap ones, like $169. If I go over here, headphones, headphones homepage. There you go. Have them? No. Okay, this is all the cheap stuff. Maybe I was wrong to go to this site or this part of the site. Um, Best for travel, no game studio. There we go. No, where are we at? Was it really audiophile? Okay, I'm thinking of audiophile, but geez, I have been on this website in forever. I don't really think the studio headphones are supposed to be that cheap. I think they're just trying to go to like an entry level type of thing right now, but type. Oh, no, I need to go to best for audiophile. Like even Sennheiser has $1,000 headphones that are studio headphones. Yeah, see there you go. You got these types of headphones right here. The ones I got, no, they're up here. These ones right here. Maybe not 3,000. Maybe only 2,000. Um, but they're nice. I got a different color though. This color I hated. I remember when I was looking them up. But they're very, 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 very nice. I'd recommend like if you guys want them. There's what this is if you guys have really like studio equipment, like studio equipment. They're really, really nice though. I would say otherwise for Audio Technica, um, now I don't think their wireless headphones are as good as Sennheiser's wireless headphones, but I'll say that their studio level headphones, like the audiophile ones that you can use for all the equipment, they run miles around Sennheiser's. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for, but let me just go to type truly wireless. What is truly wireless? Just headphones? Is that the only difference? I gotta figure out what all this new lingo is, guys, because this is a lot different than when I was getting into this type of stuff. Um, yeah, type wireless. No, why are they so cheap? I'm so confused on why they're so cheap. Okay, it goes up from here, so let's swing that across the other way. Yeah, so they got some good ones over here. So yeah, wooden ones. But no, it just goes to $250, then it goes to $199. What happened to the mid tier? They must have gotten rid of a lot of their mid tier stuff. I don't know. I almost got a turntable from them. I want to listen to some vinyls. Browse all headphones. Here we go. This will make it easier. Price. Then we'll get back to crypto. $14. Let's flip that around. $9,000, $1,800. Really? I guess they moved to more of like this wood style, and that's all they have now. Because then it drops down to cheap down here. Yeah, wow. I mean, like, I never would get stuff like this because you can see how small the ears are. It's very, very uncomfortable to have small ear stuff on your head. I have no idea. Okay, maybe Audio Technica is not as good as it once was, but those higher end ones, they're still good. I give you my word, they're still good. I bought some Sennheiser earbuds. Oh, I'm not sure if you talked about this before, but if Apple does have bad earnings, what price do you think it's hitting for puts? Oh, ooh, that'd be kind of devastating for Apple. Here, we can go over it very fast. Okay, so we've been talking about these resistance levels and all this type of stuff. This is just over the last, this 15-minute chart, so not daily chart. But we talked about this yesterday, right? A breakdown, the curl back down. We all talked about this, right? And so far, it did unfortunately have that breakdown. The breakdown occurred technically pre-market, but you can see the big one most people will probably be trading is the one that happened during actual market hours. And we came back down and we kind of hovered around the support level here. But really, what you're looking for is this breakdown right there and this trend line kind of right there moving along. This is an opportunity to buy if you guys want to do so. I would not, just because of how earnings are playing out. Let's go over here to the weekly. Let's get rid of all these other things. I could add all these lines back over again. Now, as far as Apple, because it's done so well relative to a lot of other plays out there, and let me just show you guys this, I guess, before we go back to Apple. You see how Apple's 20 and 50 week moving averages, how they're so far away from the 200? Look at Microsoft, so close. Look at Amazon, they've already broken down. MU, they've already broken down. Facebook, they've already broken down. AMD, they're breaking down now, right? Netflix, they've already broken down. Okay, LHX. Oh, LHX isn't tech. Sorry, this is a technology company. But even I shouldn't be doing this one either. Oh, this one's actually working out okay. It just had a breakout, hitting that first level there. But Apple is still doing fantastic relative to a lot of other stuff, which is why the overall market really hasn't collapsed just yet, as far as the Nasdaq. Okay, so see right there, that's our ultimate trend line right here. So if we do some really good stuff, you could eventually see Apple hit 164. It'd be totally irrational, but the market would push it there just because the market needs to go somewhere. The market wants to spend money somewhere. Okay, but over the last few weeks, you guys know that we've had a few little breakouts there. You guys see we tried to break out, failed, tried to break out, failed, broke out here a couple weeks going up. Now, we're kind of back into this level that we were talking about a few weeks ago now, where support's kind of around 138. I'd push that support back down here to 134 personally. But we don't have to pay attention to that breakout anymore because it's already happened. And on the daily chart, you can see how, I guess I should make that more precise. Yeah, there you go. You can see how we almost had this was a breakout. We had one false breakout there. That's a pain in the butt. But since then, we had some really crazy moves, but we eventually broke out, and there we were. So if Apple were to come back down and we had some really bad earnings, I would say aim for around 134 bucks. That's about a $10 loss, $10 loss. That's what I would be looking for right there. Of course, it could go down a little bit more. We have another level of support kind of around, maybe just put the weekly chart up here. Right down here. You could always go for maybe if it gets really, really bad, but this is like weeks. This is weeks. This is why I'm not talking about it because it's options. You could see it come back down to maybe the 120s or so, right? And then we still got to start worrying about the 200 weekly moving average. The reckoning for Apple should happen sometime in Q2 though, because look at this: April, May, the 200 is going to be way up here. Apple's not going to be soaring up here by then. At least I don't think so. I think it'd be insane if it did. But again, who knows? So I would say probably short term 134 price target. If things get really, really bad for it, I'd say 120. But as far as options are concerned on the daily, got some support, hope over here. And what I would try to do is I would try to trade some type of breakdown, which would be kind of hard, of course, because if we're having a massive breakdown that's off of bad news, it would allow that big move would actually happen pre-market. So if you're pessimistic about Apple, you're probably going to have to do the position on Wednesday, because or Thursday before market close, I guess you would say, since the earnings are after hours. And you're gonna have to hope it would break down to here and then come back down here to 134. Of course, it could come down a little bit harder, but I would not be playing with fire as far as this one is concerned. We have a few different levels of support. I guess you could go off of if you don't want to play with this support level right here, kind of the breakdown point. Pivot around 138, then 135, then 132. 135 to 132 for me seems to be that sweet spot where I could scale out. My options would be up a few 100%, and I would just sail off into the sunset as I head over to Vegas to go get some bone-in ribeye steak or something. But yeah, for me right now, 134 seems reasonable as far as that support level here. Something that was interesting as far as Apple. I guess I don't know if I could do it now. Let me see if I could do this now. Give me a second here before you can. Let me fucking see a document on my screen. Can I see it? Where is it? Okay, I got my whole thing opened up. It's somewhere in here. Not the usual shape. There we go. There it is. Okay. I lost it as I minimized my screen one more time. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'll take that one. That's fine. Okay. Let's see what I can do here. 2020 COVID lows may be too high. I think it's reasonable to go to the 2019 lows, more natural than the COVID lows. So for now, let's lock this bad boy in. Let's go to the weekly chart. It'll be annoying, but better. Yeah. Okay. Lock this bad boy in. And let's actually just go here. Point that out right there. Let's open up a box here. Let's see. Okay. Do I have angles on this one or not? Okay, good. Have that though. Okay. Let's turn the magnet off. Can we go to 180? No, looks like we gotta go to 360. And we got 0.4. Guess we can just go to 1. Alright, how does that look so far? Matches up fairly well. A little bit of breakouts there, dragging on this one, a little bounce off of that one, breakout above that. Okay, that's okay. I probably should add another one on here, but I'll be fine for this for now. Alright, now let's go over here and let's add on a GAN box on top of this. Let's go back to there so I can zoom in a little bit more. Let's go over here to box. Let's go to magnet. Let's zoom this over. All right, zoom out. Let's just drag this across there as well. Pop this bad boy up. Oh, snap. Let's make that smaller. Let's make that a little bit larger. There we go. Figure out which one is which. Higher. Let's put this bad boy on. Okay, so we bopped off the first one right here. You guys know how I feel about the orange lines. They're usually my favorite little things to do. It really seems like we may just have another double bottom down there. I mean, if we do find a way to break back down, if you're looking at some of those time Fibonacci levels, you can see we really don't see any bad moves until February 21st as far as weekly charts are concerned. So not for like another month out here, 3 weeks, I guess you would say. And after that, beginning of April. So maybe we have a little more turbulence around there or just following that. But let's see. We're not going to probably not going to hold this if we have bad earnings. I would still say our strongest support level for it now is going to be this 125 level. After that, we come back down to 106, and this is where I really want to buy it because again, a lot of these fancy stuff I'm doing as far as boxes and stuff like that, it really just kind of shows you in other ways which you kind of could already see, but you can see some mathematical ways of what's happening there. So you can see right here, this kind of matches up over here, this 100 level with the support level that we have from over here, from September of 2020 to November 2020. That support level, that's kind of nice, right? So I would say that medium term, I could see us going back down to 124, 125 if things get kind of pessimistic and their guidance isn't too good. It'd probably take us a month to get down there, honestly. After that, we'd probably have to go sideways until the economy really starts to get nasty. Maybe closer to the summer, things get much, much worse, and then we're back down towards $100, $108, $110. And that's based off of just this chart from the 2019 lows. I could try to go another way and try to do the COVID lows, but it'd be a little bit more further out, I would say. Yeah, I guess I could do that too. Here, let me try one more thing. So you guys can see that the support level kind of worked perfectly there, going off of the one level here in the 360 on the left hand side, or excuse me, the right hand side. Um, let me go. Let me put log back on so I can actually see what's going on here, because sometimes my eyes just don't work too well. I don't think the 2008, maybe 2008 is going back too far in time here. 2013, 2019 seems so proper for what we're looking at now. 2016 looks fine as too, because this has had some waves, right? Let's do 2016. I feel like 2008 would just be too much of a hassle to try to do right now on the stream, especially because I don't have my window like widened out max. It's like a little box to me, even though it looks larger for you guys. So let's pop that down right there. Let's go over here and let's put another grand square on the fence right there. And this is probably going to be a 720. Oh, let's double check. Yeah, so maybe 360 here. No, 720 looks like. Okay. So, please just fit for me. Okay. Zoom in. 720. 721. 720. Okay. And so we're at 0.23. I guess we can go with a 0.5, but I'd rather just go to 0.1 to see what the difference is here. So 1 up 1. Okay, that's a little too high. Yeah, it's going to be annoying to do it that way. Okay. All right. 0.2. Oh, 0.2. There you go. Not high enough, so I guess we got to go to 5. Oh, this is going to be annoying as heck. Some of these exponential growths have just been horrible for these types of patterns, technical indicators, so to speak. So 0. Yes, 5, yeah. I don't like this one that much. Rising up there. I guess, yeah, it did get rejected right there as well. Okay, let's see what we can do with it. Again, box. Let's go point actually at first. Let's put that box in there. Let's drag it along. Zoom out. Extend. Yeah, 0.5 is even so freaking high here. I guess I should do 0.02. Take another tenth, but will this help us at all coming back down? Yeah, it does. Okay. This kind of matches up with some of the stuff we talked about a while ago, back around $100. If things get really, really bad for Apple, probably around $90 or so. But we haven't even hit this first one. I would say if you really want to find a strong level of support, if you follow kind of my theory that the market's going to be going down a lot, it really is just sub 120 Apple is my juicy spot for buying it. Even if it goes to $80 or something, some catastrophic, it still seems like it'd be fine. I'm gonna do one more just because this one really, I could have gone to 0.2, I guess, a 0.01 or something like that, but I just hate doing it. See how fast we popped up? That's why like 19s. You can see that's the last little move we had before we went parabolic. Let's go monthly here actually. Let's go over here. Let's lock that in right there. I should probably stretch this out so you guys can see what I'm looking at too. There you go. Okay. 2008 financial crisis. Let's lock that in there. Last one, promise. Okay, let's spread this back out here to lock price data there. And zoom back in. Okay, perfect. Oh, this is going to look freaking weird if I do look at that, doesn't it? Yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine for now. And square. There we go. 180 work here. Oh, 180 might work. Will it give me enough data though? This is until the end of the year. Let's go with this. Make my life a little bit easier. Make our our lives a little bit easier. All right. And this is at 1. Oh, perfect. Okay, let's stick around to 1. This is at 1.4. Let's just go to 1. Makes my life a little bit easier there. Matches perfectly up at the top. We can live with that. Okay. Let's go over here to GAN box. Oh, there we go. And let's put this up here for Apple. go. Let's overextend it a little bit. And there we go. These ones are around 114 to 110. If things get really, really bad down here at 47, 38, I don't think that's going to happen. This is 2019 lows. I would say if you really want to feel pessimistic, I actually like the way this one's set up here. I could probably extend it out a little bit more, honestly. But it seems like $74 would be like prime Wagyu beef buying potential with Apple. But still, to me, the low 100s, that's perfect enough for me. If the economy really does get a lot worse, I'll always have a little more buying power in there. But let me get rid of one of these. That one. Let's get rid of that one very fast. And I move this over here to two. Let's see. Let's go over here to 1 again. That one pulls out to $74 still, yeah. And we're just kind of gliding along this, aren't we, right now? This doesn't even look too good, though. There we go. High 80s, low 100s. Those are the two first buying opportunities I see. But that's 100. If we break down below this, we're really coming back down hard for Apple. It'll have something of a Tesla moment like we saw a few weeks ago, which will be crazy, but it'll be pulling down the market nonstop because we rode 1 month, 2 month. This is a monthly chart, by the way, too. That's why everything looks a little bit more weird. 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, 4 months, kind of riding this. Finally broke down, pumped back up, came back down. This is getting messed up a little bit more, but yeah, it's gonna be kind of weird if I go from the weekly charts to this, and maybe even the daily charts as well. Yeah, it's gonna look too funky. It's not gonna make sense. But you can even see on some of these trend lines, we were just bouncing off and holding them fairly well. A lot more messy over here, though. I would probably use the 2019s primarily, and then just kind of extend them out by the 3360s, 720 on the bottom right hand number. Oh, I can't keep on. Okay, I'm not going to try to do it. But keep on moving those numbers out bit more just to kind of go further on because it looks like that one is a lot better than the 2008, 2016 numbers and so forth. Okay, there we go. Oh, gosh, I hate this lock bar ratio. It's so annoying. Auto. Ah, beautiful. Okay, I can get back to regular life and regular charts without freaking GAN boxes. Okay, there we go. And so far, Bitcoin's been doing a hot nothing since we left it. I feel bad for people. Brock Purdy, rookie cards, the big hype. Most likely his cards will be crashed 95%. Oh, that's the. Oh, I don't know if they bought NFT cards or something like that, but it's just part of the game. He got injured because his O line let somebody through and he just got walloped on the arm. It was the elbow or something like that. I wasn't too mad that he got injured because I know it's part of the game. I was mad about how boring the game became after he got injured. I was more of just an average fan looking for entertainment. And then I found said entertainment when the Kansas City Chiefs played the Bengals. That was the entertaining game I was really looking for there. Let's see. What's right here? I just looked at 222 stocks on the S&P 500 and the earnings reports this week. Should I be on high alert? Patrick, yes, 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 yes. The big ones we've been talking about are, the mega cap ones, right? But yes, you should be paying attention to this week because it's going to be this week kind of determines where the whole month of February is going for the most part. Unless we have some crazy news that makes everything seem a little bit better. The market wants to go up right now. The market wants to go up. But if earnings are bad as far as, the Googles and the Amazons, the Apples, the AMDs and stuff of that nature, you will see the market come down very hard. Not go to new lows for this bear market cycle, but you will see it come down hard, consolidate, and from there on out, we'll have to wait for the next earnings reports and some other inflation reports to kind of pick us back up or drop us down even further. But no matter what happens this week, it's not going to really take us all the way back down to those lows we experienced last October. It's not going to do that, but it can take us, we can drop it like half the value that we've accumulated over the past few months, if that makes more sense. Let's see. You saw people buy Brock Purdy rookie cards over $15,000. people make some really stupid investments, man. It's just part of life, and some people can afford to take the loss, some people can't. If they couldn't, that's their own fault for making such a risky trade on a trading card for a person that's hasn't technically been proven yet. Or, just on anything like that. I just don't see the value in those types of trading cards. Perhaps, though, if they believe in their long term longevity, hopefully Brock Purdy will be there next year, or whoever, Jimmy G, Trey Lance, the other guy, Josh Johnson, or something. Who knows? Uh, but people make dumb decisions in investments. It happens all the time. Nothing new here. But okay, everybody, I'm gonna call it a night right now. I gotta make some dinner. I really haven't been eating all too much today. Sucks for me because I've been working too much. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Keep an eye out for some of these news videos I'm posting for you guys tomorrow morning. And members, keep track of what the next video I'm having for you guys tomorrow. I just started the new daily members videos as far as new update videos for Apple, Nvidia, all that type of stuff, right? And then on top of that, look for some shorts out there talking about just some fun stuff. But okay, everybody, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and then Wednesday. Wednesday there'll probably be 2 streams as far as YouTube will what do you call it? I'll have 2 streams on Wednesday for YouTube. One for federal rate hikes and one for just the normal chilling and chatting like we're doing right now. Okay. So okay, everybody, have a great rest of your day. And overall scripture, they could have shadow banned me. They do it every now and again when I talk a lot about crypto, or whatever I'm talking about here happens every now and again. But I don't really let it bother me too much at this point. I'm just trying to grow my channel however YouTube lets me.